Hello, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Uh, Good afternoon. We can start. I'm ready. Anytime
Yes, sir.
we can
You
start.
can share your screen, sir.
Okay. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, sir. Visible. Start the session, sir.
Yes, you can start.
Yeah, we are already students are listening. You can start there.
Oh, I can start. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I think Sunday, you people are taking trouble to listen to me. I'm also taking equal this one to reach out to you. Yeah, now space is becoming a very important domain, especially earlier, space means it's only research or science, and very few organizations like ISRO, they were only concentrating on rockets and satellites. Some space technologies are adopted for some niche agricultural, such kind of things. So that was the notion, maybe a couple of years back, maybe 5 or 6 years back. Now, especially after the Russian-Ukraine war, the space the different space companies, international companies supporting the war, is becoming a fourth dimension of the war, that is sovereignty protection. So that means in addition to civil commercial applications, defense is also becoming let us say an important user to avail the space technology, especially that too after Operation Sindoor. The space has provided confidence for sovereignty protection, especially within India. Of course, across globe, this is happening. So considering all these things, what all this is so far, remote sensing is the technology. If you know, the mobile and the DTH, they are the technologies for communication. Such kind of things are happening. But how actually the space technologies should be leveraged? What kind of demand is there? What kind of technologies that are pursued by the students, so that when they come out of the colleges, they'll have proper career path and they can plan either as a startup or as a service provider. The building the capability is very important during your college days. Getting know awareness, then understanding, then building the capability. Then after coming out, these are all the important areas. So keeping that into mind, I'm just going ahead with the presentation. One side, there is a huge crisis because entire resource mapping has to happen. Either population increase, temperature increase, migration within the biosphere, which creates imbalance, then consumption of natural resources. Say today, entire wars are happening only because of oil, just because of oil. The oil trade is happening in dollars, and some countries they wanted to protect dollars. That is why they're waging war. Population is increase is there. Obviously, When a population increase is there, obviously the consumption will increase. And one side, natural resources are depleting, population is increasing. So there are n number of social problems are around. So what is the way out? Because human capacity is very limited to address all these problems with the conventional technologies. So now that's for all the problems, many of the problems, the technology is only the solution. Of course, space, do the space give you the solutions? May not be. But the thing is, the space will be like a catalyst, which will tell you what exactly the problem could be. But other technologies have to be bundled together along with the space technology. It only gives you direction. It only gives you if pollution is there, where exactly the pollution is there, how much pollution is there. That will tell. But to curtail or to cut the pollution, you may have to do other technologies. Similarly, if the proper distribution of your livelihood is there, your food grain production, food security, where exactly excess production is there, it will tell you. But balancing the that food across the entire supply chain, it is another technology. So like that, the space technology is becoming inevitable to identify the resources, sinks and source missions. The important missions are remote sensing, the communication and navigation, which gives lots of, let us say, avenues, lots of opportunities for the young youth to pursue the technologies and implementing them, not only for what you call the the resource balance, but also for career development and but also for the what you call life plan. So let us touch upon some of the things. What are these technologies all about? How actually you can build your careers and you can build your revenues across these sectors. GIS, geospatial. Geospatial is nothing but studying the earth. Geo means earth. So what are all the everything, whatever is there, be it water, let's say circulation, availability below the ground or above the ground or during rain, the population which is spread across the urban cities, how actually population growth, the demand of the different resources are there, then your pollution, then your resource mapping, then your everything which is on the earth has got a value. When there is a crisis, the technology has to be applied to balance these resources and to focusly distribute these resources. If you just see the geospatial, where all the geospatial technologies can be adopted, if you see, example you take, the urbanization is happening like anything. The migration is happening. The skyscrapers are coming out at various locations, various cities across the globe. Every building skyscraper consumes one skyscraper of big building like a Microsoft or Google will consume the energy and power which is equivalent to almost a mid city or mid let us say town. If such a kind of power generation demand is there, where from the generation will come? The best way is to control the power consumption. There, the new technologies are coming, building information system, digital twins. So using such kind of technologies, what you do using your own laptop, there are as many number of buildings are there, so much technology provisions are there, so that you can build, you can map the entire building using a electronic twin, digital twin, and you can control each and every light, either in the lift or in the corridor or in the toilets or in the office rooms or in the lounges. So thereby the power can be saved. This is the technology adoption using satellites, IoT, and other sensors and other provisions of the technology. And if you see actual distribution, most of the geospatial technologies will demand GNS services. GNSS means navigation services. It is not enough if where you are. It is more important at what time where you are. So each and every let us say image and a signature should have the location signature as well as the time signature. Then only things, let's say today, if you go to Zomato or any kind of let's say e-commerce application, when you do so, whether it is a locating your aeroplane or locating your train or locating your bus or locating your vehicle movement, everything requires timely, near time or real time data, where you are, that is location, what time you are, and after 10 minutes, what is going to happen, and whether I take this route or not. If you order for a what you call your pista or pizza, what time it is coming. These are all the technologies, sophistication people have adopted. For for such kind of things, the GNSS information and technologies are more prominent. So in the geospatial, almost 45% of the technologies are related to GNSS. That is surveying, navigation, asset tracking, transportation, logistics, such kind of things. So you just imagine today, if you take the GNSS, what is the penetration, any kind of, let us say, country that has got, you will only remember the name of GPS. But India, we have NavIC, which is not so much penetrated as GPS because we have to build lots of capabilities, lots of technologies we have to, lots of many satellites we have to launch, and ground systems we have to equip. Then only we can be in a position to implement these genetic technologies to the fullest extent, to reap or to derive the maximum benefits out of it. Similarly, earth observation. Earth observation, earth EVO, that is using the satellite is only one part of it. Let's say we have some metro is going on. Metro in the cities, the metro construction works will be going on, or highways within the forest and within the hilly areas, the project works are going on. How actually you can monitor those things? This is what again the satellite technology using maybe some partly drones, partly ground penetrating radars. And when you are mapping the urban cities where you have to map the cables, underground cables or underground above ground gas pipelines or underground sewage treatment pipelines or drinking water pipelines, you have to map everything to get a smart city. So the smart cities are growing day by day to have better, let us say, life in the urban. These all again comes under the geospatial technologies, where enormous amount of, let us say, resources that are required. Once if you know how to integrate, how to create maps, how to imbibe, these are all we call it as layers, different layers we have to form. Let's say gas supply layer, drinking water supply layer, electrical cables layer. All these things when you build, then it will become a smart city. Tomorrow when somebody gets the road cut, then you will come to know consciously there is a cable I have to take care. Otherwise, next 1 week the power will be off in that region. So such a kind of technology adoption has to happen. To make all these things, you require geospatial intelligence and proper software, proper knowledge about the what you call maps, how to embed all these systems into the maps, and creating digital maps. Okay, so like this, lots of applications are there in Earth observation, and that is geospatial area. Coming to the agriculture, agriculture is almost 23 to 25% of our economy. If you strengthen agriculture, your economy will be taken care. How the different types of agricultures are basically a smart agriculture. How actually what are the kinds of crops that are growing across the country. How actually where is the supply demand? Okay, you have let us say wheat more production in Gangetic region. whereas in the south also wheat consumption is more. When you a priori, if you know 2 to 3 months in advance, you have so many lakhs of metric tons are grown in this area. After 2 months, when it comes to the crop, comes to the maturity, you will plan logistics, you will map. Otherwise, what happens? The grains will be stored in the grain stores, and after that, proper supply, if it is not there, they will be spoiled. Again, it requires lots of warehousing costs, lots of preservation costs, loading, up, unloading 2 times, multiple times. You can plan everything. Let's say again fertilizers. If you have such kind of demand for different crops, different fertilizers are required. How actually the fertilizer supply chain can be managed so that when you need the fertilizer at that time in that shop or in that region, there would not be any shortage of the fertilizers. Based on the demand, fertilizer companies can plan their production. So these are all interlinked, The technology is when you do the entire supply chain, the entire value chain will get integrated with these technologies. That is the advantage of these technologies. But of course, what is the demand? If you say even sitting in a village, you can assess, okay, in your own village, how much paddy is being grown, how much coconut trees are being grown, how much, let us say, vegetable horticulture is getting down, and connecting all these things to Amazon Fresh, such kind of people, and they will come directly and take the produce, and the farmers will be paid. This is what the technology. You just imagine how many such villages are there, whether it is a palm leaf or it is a banana, what you call leaves or banana plantains, or it is some kind of fruits or some kind of fish culture, fisheries or prawns. If you connect to the supply chain, you can imagine, you can work out which market you have a good value and directly connect to the people. If they order you directly, you can send them, transport them also. These are all the technology adoptions that leverage the people and leverage the revenue. And sitting in your own house, you can run your own software, you can your own what you call a small e-commerce application so that you can earn the money sitting in your own village, your own corner of the house. That is the advantage we have. And forest. Some of the things, not only for the revenue generation, but for the environmental requirements, you have to ecology balance you have to do. And government and other NGOs, the real estate people, so these people, they use such kind of technologies to cut the forest fires to maintain the ecological balance. There are several forests where let us say some concertina of the concertina of forest is there. Every 4 or 5 years, you have to cut the trees, otherwise they will fall. Thereby, you can supply the wood and the stalks to the paper industry, and you have to do reforestation. How to calculate all the revenues of forest products? How to plan reforestation, deforestation, and reforestation? When a fire happens, it will propagate within no time. You have to identify the fire when it is in the initial stages and alert the in local, let's say, firefighting officers so that they will go and sublimate the fire. So these are all again technologies. Everywhere forest is expressed. As per the Indian Forest Survey report, yearly India is losing around 440 crores of revenue in terms of forest fires. You just imagine you have in your vicinity, you put an emergency kiosk and try to identify such kind of fires. So what happens? The government will come to your rescue, and such kind of 1,000 people are volunteers or some kind of technology providers are across the country. Then entire government will create a chain of such kind of technologies, and they depend on them, and they will share, definitely they will share economic model or financial model can be worked out by the government. This is participative cooperative approach to to maintain the ecology. Such schemes are there. Such schemes are there in India. But as a new entity or as a new business, you can always propose to the government, look, in our forest area, these many forest fires are happening. I am taking the responsibility to identify and intimate to you because this is our revenue model. Come up and propose the same thing. These are all new avenues. It is not that somebody is creating a revenue or creating a job for you. You are creating a job for yourself, and you are indicating the loss and gain, and you are becoming part of the not only solution provider but also revenue generator. Urban, I can't explain you. If you say urban technology mapping, uh, there is no sky is only the limit for technology adoption, whether it is traffic management or infrastructure management or theft management or accidents. What is happening? Who is at fault? For insurance companies in a city, when something some kind of accident happens. This is what I'm just deriving an example from Dubai. When I was in Dubai, one of the Indian startups, they were telling they are providing IoTs and connecting the satellites, and they are finding out who is at fault. Because especially in the foreign countries, the third party insurance is very prominent. When you are causing an accident, you will be more penalized than the person who got affected. So your share, most of your share will go to him. The insurance company will pay, deducting from you. Who committed the mistake will have to pay more. So such kind of threats, when you impose using the technology, the people will be alert and they will carefully drive the thing. That not only creates the discipline amongst the people, but also, yeah, let's say, optimizes the revenue lost by the insurance companies, and many more people will venture into taking insurance. So these are all the use cases, public use cases, where the technology can be adopted and careers can be built by as a self, let us say, self employment. Okay, smart cities. I was telling you about the digital twins. These skyscrapers consumes megawatts of consumption. You can always optimize them. In Singapore, if I remember the Singapore, somebody in the geospatial world, they were explaining. In the Singapore, they have implemented this building information system in a very large way. Even the guy who is CEO was making a presentation. He had to fly after a meeting to some other country, and after going there, he realized that his room was not switched off. Nobody can enter into his room without proper authentication. Like he says, I have used my mobile to switch off all my gadgets, even not only the lights and other things, security gadgets. So that is the sophistication now digital twins are providing in the smart city implementation. Yes, coming to the next area, which is obviously a navigation or communication. Yes. Okay, these are all some of the use cases which I have listed down, where the students can look into. It is irrespective of the subject, what I am telling. Because let's say if water management is there, a civil person joining hands with IoT, electronics person, and a computer guy who develops the app, they three can work together on a use case. So every problem statement or every problem case is intertwined or interdependent on multiple disciplines. So that is why the startup culture has come. The startup is not let us say, a company or a industry. It is a culture, I should say, where like-minded people come together, identify a problem case, innovate it and implement it, and generate revenue for himself, solving the social problems or economic problems of the country. So this is where the growth of the technology, making available the technology for the social use cases and economical use cases for building their own careers, either to like a startups or a solution providers. Okay. These are all some of the use cases. Renewable energy. Renewable energy is something which space gives in a big way. Some of the areas I do remember when I went to Shimla. on a raising Shimla or raising Himachal, I think that conference, when CM and Deputy CM they were taking a review, they were telling here renewable energy is not possible because of the hilly region. There is a guy who stood up and said that recently we have conducted a survey. In these seven, there are 7 pockets, 7 to 8 pockets of the hilly areas where windmills are possible. This has come out of the space technology. That's what he was telling. So space can be used for identifying where the ocean waves are more, for implementing ocean technology. Solar energy calculator. Incidentally, ISRO has developed this technology. If you just go to download the app, just go to your roof and you can identify what is the intensity of solar radiation that you'll have, so that how many watts you can generate and still supply it either to yourself or to the national grid. That's how the solar energy production, India has beaten the records. The records, I don't have the figures to say, but it is quite what you call available in the public domain. Whatever the target that we have fixed it for next 5 years, we have surpassed already, and we are now going towards natural energy conservation program, rather than again depending on the coal, on the thermal, or on the other natural resources. This again, technology adopts it. You just imagine one of you takes that solar calculator, identify how much solar energy on your rooftop is possible, erect a solar energy, and consume, say 75% of your electricity bill will be reduced. I'm sure it happens, especially in the southern regions where the solar this one is the season is more. Okay, so these are all the technologies people have to adopt, take into their social life. Okay. Then SATCOM. The communication is another area where enormous amount in the space domain. If you see which are all out of the 3 areas, uh, navigation, earth observation, and SATCOM. SATCOM is the area which gives lots of revenue because of the internet, because of the communication, because of the, let us say, mobile connectivity, because of several use cases. This is the prominent domain which gives lots of revenue, whether it is meteorological applications, because you have to depend on your satellites for predicting predicting the atmosphere and monsoons, etc. Meteorological applications, TV broadcasting, and advanced things like telemedicine, teleeducation, airplane, let's say ADCB, we call it as the tracking of aircrafts, tracking of your ships, tracking of your entire, let's say, road fleet, be it a car, be it a road. This all depends on your communication setup. And portable communication is now becoming more prominent. That is where the Starlinks is extending the service, directly connecting your mobile to the satellite. What happens? It is immaterial whether you have a signal or not, whether you have a signal cover, signal vertical tower or not. You will get connected to the entire world, and your mobility and communication would be more effective when you connect your mobile. Now things are, there is no what you call doubt. Sooner or later, we are going to get this technology, and people with mobile, he can roam anywhere, even in the forest or in the sea, so that he'll be connected to the earth. But the same communication with the navigation support, it is helping remote people, whether it is soldiers in the glaciers or fishermen in the waters. They are getting so much help from this technology, so that earlier what happens if they cross their national water boundaries, if they enter into other, they'll be caught, and relieving them, getting them back into the native nation is a Herculean task. Diplomatic affairs, we have to talk, otherwise they'll be suffering. Today we have come with the gadgets. When they are crossing the waters, this particular alert system, we call it as distress alert system, gives them a signal, look, you are crossing your limits, you please return back. And in case if because of cyclone or anything, if any some kind of let's say danger happens to the people, if they press this distress alert system, the nearby coast guard or nearby rescue teams will get an alert, and they will rescue these people. That is why the lives will be saved. This is what satellite on move. SATCOM is on move. That is what I was explaining. When an ambulance is there, where they have to cross lots of, let's say, areas in a hilly zone. Let us say, if the patient has to be in contact with the doctor, how? It's not possible. That is why the satellite mobile connectivity will come into picture. We have satellite phones. We give to our own ambulance people, and this is the essential service. A fire rescue team or a water rescue team, they will keep these satellite phones, and still they will get connected to the. It's very costly today and bulky, but of course the connectivity, the technology provides that connectivity. Then comes to navigation. This is the third technology, which is very prominent technology and which is very useful technology. Uh, Today, if it is land connectivity or sea connectivity or air connectivity, the position, navigation, and timing, these three PNT technologies are becoming very prominent over and above the geographical or geo information. Today, let us say a small, you would have seen yesterday in the news, there were some terrorists, an enemy has attacked in a hotel, locating them in a room without even causing disturbance to the other room. How that happens, how that is possible? Because of the precision navigation system, precision pointing out systems. If you can just locate your longitude and latitude in a very so precise way, and seekers are given this information, whatever the missile or whatever the ammunition that you use, which has got a GPS tracker or GNSS tracker, will go and hit the target through a pinhole, if not pinhole, through a small hole. That is the precision even we have demonstrated in the Operation Sindoor. When a concrete building is there, through AC duct, I understood. I understood some experienced people were telling our missile has gone inside the AC building, RCC building, and bombarded the enemy. So that is the precision systems that we have today for military applications. But of course, civil applications also, these things are predominantly used for locating the locations. Today, let us say you have just ordered a Swiggy or Zomato. How they are reaching you within 7 minutes, 8 minutes? Do you have any imagination? If you want a kind of water bottle for urgency, if you don't have in your house when you are staying alone, if you just order it, within 4 to 5 minutes, you are getting it. This sophistication never was there earlier. Because of how we are getting this thing, because of just technology. And if 10 or 15 cosmopolitan cities have got this provision, you just imagine for a 1 lakh towns and panchayats, when you can extend this technology, how sophisticated the life would be, how confident the life would be. This is where the opportunities exist for the youngsters to scale it up. When the technology is there, why we are not able to reach out to the villages? Let's say whether it is a Swiggy or let us say your Uber or anything, because of affordability and because you're not able to generate such kind of scale. We call it as economy of scale. But when the technology is affordable, you can reach out to these economic scales very easily. So some of the things I've just picked up and I'm showing. So at the end, I just wanted to tell you something about Indian Space Research Organization and what activities are happening within ISRO before going to the strategic areas. Because I was my DNA is ISRO. Without talking to ISRO, I don't think that any presentation would be complete. So ISRO is now gearing up for heavy kind of missions like NGLV, next generation launch vehicle. First is Gaganyaan. Gaganyaan, when you become, you will be the third country to have such kind of let us say technologies. Then NGLV, which is the largest let us say new generation launch vehicle, which ultimately can take the people to the moon, initial to the Bharatiya Antariksha Station. Bharatiya Antariksha Station, it is on the anvil. The technology buildup is happening. The moon missions, continued moon missions. We have completed Chandrayaan 3, Chandrayaan 4, Chandrayaan 5, which is one mission in coordination with the LoopX by that name, with Japan. The efforts are being concluded. And return mission, sample return mission, it is already planned. ISRO is working. Such kind of amazing feats are going to happen in the near future by the ISRO. For this, we need huge number of technologies, huge amount of affordable sensor manufacturing. Uh, but the scales are very high. But when you develop these sensors as a spin-off, they can be used for multiple applications. So these are all we are working on. ISRO is working on vertical taken for the reusable concept. Okay, so this is what the three missions. One is launch vehicle upgradation for, from man rated GSLV Mark 3 to the semi-cryo GSLV Mark 3. Semi-cryo will lift almost 6 tons to the GTO, then NGLV. Then we have NGLV version of human rated version of NGLV and moon mission with the strap-ons to increase the capacity. So these are all the areas where ISRO is given a very good roadmap by Government of India for next, I should say, 20 years. Yes, Gaganyaan is working, is moving on in a very good shape, I should say, because huge number of thousands of technologies are there, which need to be re-established, retested, requalified before actually implementing it, because human lives are involved in such kind of technologies. And then many space missions, we call them as lunar missions, cislunar missions, then Sukrayaan, then robotic missions, then in-space manufacturing. Okay, moon. So many missions are being talked now. Incidentally, after the reforms, the industry is also penetrating in a very good way, even in the science missions. As asteroid mining, many companies are involved to reach out Apophis, which is the nearest asteroid, maybe in 3 to 4 years of time. So these are all the commercial missions converted, science missions converted into commercial missions, because West is going in a very accelerated way in the science exploration. Yes, Bharatiya Antariksha Station is the next revenue generation model for space. When you create this particular station, it's not enough that we have created and clapping that we have done the station, but to make it live and to make it active, so many experiments have to happen. Let us say today, whether it is microbiology or whether it is agriculture or whether it is tissue development or it is let us say vaccine development or it is let us say human organ development, transplantation development. So many experiments we can do using the microgravity. The next generation, all of you, whoever is attending, you have to have such kind of awareness what all we can do. Mechanical guy can make an incubator, electronics guy can make a interface to assess different environmentals. Communication guy can get it to get the data onto the control system on the ground. Computer science guy, because this is what I'm telling you, everywhere. Now, a science is also a biological engineer, engineer can work with electronics engineer and bring out a experiment, bringing an agriculturalist. You just imagine now sciences, basic sciences also getting into the engineering for the several use cases. So these are all the opportunities the next generation has got. You people have to gear up, form the teams right now, start thinking on how actually we can make use of these facilities. Don't worry for money. money investors are there. If you come out with a good idea, the investors are pouring billions of millions of money, because they also wanted to what you call see India growing, and they also wanted to see their revenue is getting what you call multiplied. Yes, this is what I was telling you. Space tourism is another area, because I was called by the local the some of the guys from um, Middle East, because they are very rich people, because of oil and other resources, and they were very fascinated. They were telling, if any guy is there who does this space tourism, people are standing in queue. You just imagine, there is no value for money. They can spend money for getting such kind of experiences. But developing a human capsule, at least 2 to 3,000 people should work day in, day out for next 3 to 4 years. Then they can make a human capsule. For making that to run, the same amount of people, they will continue to work, continuously work for the next generations. These are all the opportunities what we have. In space manufacturing, space factories, why do you take everything from the ground? You have to find out earth or anything gases from the space, and you have to make your own articles, hardware out of those elements, either glues or it is structures or inflatable structures or anything. You have to make, produce all of them in space and use it and perish it. Otherwise, it's not possible to carry all infrastructure from here to top. Okay, that is where the in-space manufacturing is coming out. IIT Chennai is working in a big way on such kind of technologies. If somebody are interested, you can go into their website and pursue. Okay. So ultimately, when it comes to the all these things, whatever I was telling you, they're all part of, I should say, the enablers for generating the careers. Let's say today, if you see what all the careers that are available, if getting into ISRO is obviously a career, but I don't say that this is only the way you will become either space engineer or space scientist. No, because ISRO is supported by industries, thousands of industries across the country and in the globe also. They have to produce structures, they have to produce materials, they have to produce so many other things, electronic components, packages, devices, fabrication, propellant materials, alternate propellants, control systems, ground system support. So many things are there which industry is supporting. They are also space industry. Then startups. Startups is the buzzword now. But to have innovation, to have new technologies being developed, startups only can do this works. Because industry, they work on ROI basis. Unless otherwise they have a visible business, they won't venture into, because R&D is an expenditure without a revenue. When it becomes mature, then only the revenues will start. Till such time, it is only an expenditure. So usually the companies will not venture into such kind of uncertain technology development, because their ROI will not work out. So the startup is a different culture. They go in such kind of development of such kind of technology, niche technologies, without expecting the revenues. Then they will come to the revenue part. And of course, that is the go-to-market strategy they should have. But initial R&D, there is no restriction or there is no concerns in the startups. Research associates, different colleges and IITs and colleges, they are these teaching faculty, they are doing lots of research, either funded or self-funded, funded by ISRO or self-funded. These are all ways, when you become a MTech scholar or MTech student or PhD scholar, you can look for such kind of opportunities to get associated with any project which will usually run for 3 to 4 years. There are more than 250 to 300 projects are working or running across the country. You can be a research scholar. After that, you can penetrate yourself into the system and look for a career or for or for a what you call the production. This is what I was telling. This is those different colleges are there. We have a model, RSCS model, regional academia centers, space technology cells, space technology incubation centers. Such kind of things are there. If you go to ISRO website, all this information is available. This is the footfall for different colleges ISRO has got. Okay. So eventually, we want you to become one of the startups so that you can dream, you can put your experience into a sizable what you call product or service, so that you can give, instead of seeking a job from others, you can give jobs to the others. That should be the ultimate aim of such kind of interactions. Social responsibility, which I always give lots of preference. It is not that you alone grow or you alone aware. You please become an ambassador, space ambassador or a technology ambassador, to give your hand to younger brothers and sisters, so that whatever you learned in your colleges, you can give back that enthusiasm or motivation to the next children. Okay. So this is the footfall that we do outreach programs. This is the footfall. The people enthusiastically listen to us, listen to the people who have got experience. Thereby, they get motivated, and they'll become the part of space ecosystem. Thank you. That's all I wanted to tell. If you have any questions, I'm I'm happy to answer you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we have some questions of the
Yeah, yeah.
students. Yeah. One, the legal provisions in space sector, like space lawyer or advocates.
Yes. You want to understand what is the provisions or what is the opportunities lawyers and economists have got in space sector. Am I correct?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. See, space is an emerging sector. It is not exactly the sector which the direct user will consume, because in between there are, let us say, rocket is there. Example. When rocket is to be launched, rocket cannot be launched by every person. Rocket will be launched by either ISRO or one or two organizations. The legality will come into picture. Let us say if rocket fails and falls into the land, who takes the responsibility? Let us say some damage happens. Who takes the responsibility? This is called a liability convention. Let us say a satellite is there. A commercial fellow has agreed for providing some services. He has agreed to build the satellite and launch. Incidentally, the launch failure has happened. Our satellite has gone to the orbit, it stopped functioning. Whatever the money, forget about the money, you can get through insurance. But whatever the opportunity loss is there for the business fellow, who will patch it up. So these are all the provisions, and some of the things are liability conventions. They're all guided by UNUSA liabilities. But it is an emerging sector, and space lawyers see everything legality when it becomes a policy, and when everything earlier only government is doing, now public industries also, private industries also, when they are doing, whether they are doing for lawful means or unlawful means, whether they are getting into the construction or destruction, so many things will come. Yes, it is a emerging area. Maybe days to come, the legality aspects will grow. But as of now, this is very niche area, very limited number of people are there. When you become a space lawyer, definitely you will be consultant for insurance companies, for many commercial establishments, including the startups and MSMEs.
The role of cybersecurity domain in the field.
Come again, roll of?
Role of cybersecurity domain in the
Cyber
field.
security. Yeah, cyber security. Yes, yes, yes. See, today the entire thing is communication. When satellite is up in the sky, whether it is commercial data or geographical data, or secured communication. Let us say military is there. You have a some kind of alien payload. Alien payload will tell you where exactly the enemy's electronic systems are there. Okay, when you are getting those kind of signals, either spoofing can happen, or you should know very decoded and encrypted signals so that you only can get to know the critical information. Let us say even otherwise also electrical earth observation data, which is very for even for civil applications. Somebody is getting the ground traces of very critical installations like shipyards, like airports, like government buildings. They have to be masked, they have to be secured. If, let us say, an enemy gets a target of our critical facility and puts the coordinates and bombards, how it will happen? So the cyber is the fifth layer or fifth dimension of especially warfare, but otherwise also very banking information is there. Somebody is transferring the banking information through a satellite. It should be encrypted and proper security protocols have to be there. See, cyber security is part and parcel of a data. If that cybersecurity provisions and the security is not there, any data, even if you are calling something, you are transferring your location, your kid is calling you and sending some information, important information through WhatsApp. It requires, even though it goes through different means, satellite or whatever the means that is called, wherever that data is there, whether it is communication data or navigation data or earth observation data, security is the utmost important, and cyber security has got enormous amount of opportunities, not only in satellite, in every field. Next.
What skills are expected from full-time work at space sector?
Full time.
Full-time at space ISRO, like the SpaceX, NASA.
See, see, education is one thing, skill is another thing. Skill is something like that, I should say, it is an art. It is not only a wisdom or knowledge, it is embedded with an art. And skill will come out only when you expose to the work environment again and again multiple times. Okay. To get into the skill, first you have to complete your education. Education is a gateway. Once you, let us say, if you don't pass your BTech or MTech, you cannot get into ISRO or any industry. If you cannot get into the industry, you can never get any opportunity to work on a specific item. Let us say composite material bonding. You can, if you go through the textbook, they will tell you, okay, this layer you put it, that layer you put it, 45 degrees, 50 degrees. But when you are putting, how skillfully you have to put to achieve the flatness is an art or is a skill. Okay. If you ask me what are the skills, skill is something, unless otherwise you have practical experience, you cannot achieve it. First, to get the skill, you have to get to your education. What skills, if you ask me, all the skills, whether it is your civil engineering or chemical engineering or electronics engineering or instrumentation engineering or mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, anything, they are useful in the space sector.
I have one question.
Ah.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Uh, every month, all over the world launch a satellite or spacecraft. We have plenty of space junk debris. What about that cleaning?
There, what happened? Somebody has to go and clean it up. That is a business.
There is a no particular space law.
See, today, if you ask space law, space debris management is not put as a part of any convention, UN convention. Okay,
Yeah.
you have moon protection or astronaut clause is there, moon law is there, so many things are there. But unfortunately, these are all very old laws, 1960s, 70s. After that, no worthwhile addition has happened. Why? Because these laws are most of the laws created by USA, and they are the people who create the nuisance. So to be on safe side or to be on very advantageous position, they don't bring such kind of laws. But now the discussions are happening. Even last year, there was a debris management committee. Incidentally, that was headed by our ISRO scientist. We They are deliberating on how actually we should enact. Some of the things are the national space agencies who are responsible to put the satellites into the orbit. They should find a plan to mitigate it also. That's how they're discussing. In fact, ISRO has gone ahead, even megatropic, such kind of satellites, what we have done, when some fuel is remnant in the satellite, we have burned it in the opposite direction. We brought the satellite into the atmosphere, and atmosphere it got burned down. Okay. If it is a geostationary satellite, we have to push it to the graveyard when fuel is about to be consumed. So such kind of easy things we are doing. But the question is, when our satellites, either our debris collides with another active satellites, how that will be how that be guided is a law which is required now. A rogue satellite will come and hit our satellite. So damage happens to us. How to handle such kind of thing? Because any insurance company, they will tell that you produce me evidence. It's not possible, and we should have uh, 24 by 7 observation of, let's say, it is multi-object tracking radar or satellites in the orbit, who will watch each and every satellite. Let's say when there are more than a lakh debris, observing each and everything is a very, very difficult task. Okay. So such kind of things are legally they are fighting how to create such policies, but their discussions are going on for last 3 to 4 years. What
If you have
next?
dear students, if you have any question, could you please ask?
Sir, I had a question.
Yeah, hi.
Hello. I wanted to know about how to join ISRO, how to prepare for it as a computer science engineering student, and about the domains available in computer science that we can apply in space.
Yeah, I suggest you to enter into ISRO. There is an exam ICRB, ISRO Central Recruitment Board. If you just type ICRB, you will get to know, and you have to observe it is any exam like a national exam. I think yearly twice they conduct this exam, and against vacancies you can apply. Computer science is one area people like any other discipline. Computer science is also one discipline. We take the people. Then if you ask me what is the requirement of a computer science, without computer science and without, let's say, software programming, no electronic will work. No control system will work. Whether it is, I should say, embedded systems or firmware or let's say ground system software for mission planning or inter-satellite links. See, now the thing is entire electronics are going towards software driven SDRs, and the technologies are going to reduce the hardware and to increase the software dependent what you call technologies on board. So computer science has got whether, and coming to the data, if you say terabytes and picobytes of data is available, whether it is connected to the atmosphere or whether it is connected to the ground observation or whether it is connected to the agriculture. Only thing is you people have to find a business case and create a revenue model around that and make your own, let's say, your own capability to build such kind digital things. I was telling, you must be observing. Digital twin is a technology which anybody can work on. It's purely computer science. There are many, not one or two. I'm only just telling one or two. There are many applications, even if you Google it or chat GPT, if you do it, there are a number of applications. Don't worry for ISRO's penetration. If you cannot, let's say fortunately or unfortunately, if you cannot get through the exam, don't think that it is the end of the day as a space scientist. There are a number of opportunities for you to become a space scientist even outside ISRO. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can you
Also,
suggest some?
Yeah. Some of you can, one of you
Ved
go ahead.
Prakash.
Yes.
Hello.
So actually, sir, I was asking, can you like share some of the opportunities that you have told as externalities that we can explore um, of them?
There's nothing like sharing. You just type it in your Google, volumes of data will come out. Okay, what is there to share? If it is one or two, I can share. If it is 1 million, how to share? You just Google it out. See, building information system or building information management, you type it and put it. Let's say geospatial applications. You just put geospatial applications, or otherwise ELINT or signal intelligence. You just put it in chat GPT. It will take you to the resources and it will give you hundreds of pages of information. Okay.
Yes,
See,
sir.
these kind of interactions we only give you, it is not your prescription. Okay. It is only inspiration. When in 1 hour, how much it is possible for anybody to share with you. You please carefully listen to these things and it's inspirational lectures, and you have to note down couple of things and explore. When you start exploring and interacting with your professors and your teaching staff, you will get to know 100 times more than what I have told, rather interacted with in this one hour. That should be the vertical motto. Okay. All of you, whoever is attending, please follow that one. Yeah, Vishaka.
Sir, I have a doubt. As you said that software-driven development will be there, but to
Mhm.
support that software, hardware must be present. A strong
Yes.
hardware should be present because
Yes.
due to AI and ML, we are in the need of strong hardwares that can support it,
Yes.
like GPUs.
Yes.
So, what about that? Like, how are we going to develop it?
How are you going to develop today in the semiconductor area? See, international companies like NVIDIA, AMD, they are doing lots of business, lots of developments in case of FPGAs or ASICs or any devices. But now India is also semiconductor mission is there, quantum mission is there, several IITs and Tata's plan you must be knowing. They are putting huge amount of fabs across the country. But the thing is, when they are developing lots of infrastructure, who will man them? Who will operate them? This is where exactly the deficiency comes into picture. When colleges are talking about only producing the engineers with certificates without proper understanding of what is required, what is expected out of these students, what happens at the end of the day, you will have a certificate and you will be roaming around for the job. And somebody asks us a skill, whatever the skill that they require, it will not be available. But in your course, if a course is there for 2 to 3 years on FPGA programming or FPGA development, or as such, say there are n number of things are there. You said memory chips, we are still procuring from outside. Why we can't develop a memory chip? Why we can't develop an IC, or why we can't develop a board, 7-layer board or 8-layer board with some logic, with a control system. So this is the education we are looking for at each and every institution, more than you, your professor or your dean or your the industry coordinator should have more exposure. They should invite industries for making such kind of, let us say, lectures in what area they are looking for, in what area. Even today, let us say, if I wanted to know radiation hardening, I don't have a software across which is very familiar to assess what is the kind of radiation levels different orbits will get exposed. Triad, some kind of commercial softwares are there. Why can't you people identify enormous data is there, assimilate the data and make a software stating that if you put your mission life and your the altitude and the inclination of different thing, the data will assimilate, artificial intelligence will get you the radiation levels. The awareness, what is requirement and what is availability is today challenge between an academia and industry. Industry wants apples. Academia is producing oranges. If at least an hybrid apple orange or orange apple, if it is done, then the job is done. Okay, but nevertheless, you have to be aware what the developments are happening around the globe. What kind of, if your lecture is not giving you that hint, you may have to get exposed yourself because career is yours. College only will produce for 4 years and they will give a certificate and they will kick you out. But after that, what happens? This is where exactly you have to attend the seminars, you have to attend the conferences, you have to get exposed to the people. Even if it is there, you demand your placement officers to get people to your institution to give lectures on different requirements. Okay.
Yes,
If you
sir.
anyone have question. Sachi.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, I wanted to know in space industry or ISRO, what is it expected from a computer science student who is aspiring to join ISRO? Like, what kind of knowledge should we possess so that we can prepare accordingly?
I have told you, no, just now I have told you, no, somebody answered, no. You have embedded systems, you have firmware, you have mission planning. You should have exposure to the simulation packages. Okay. Various. Let us say some are. See, ISRO is a technology driven agency. It is not the applications and other things are for the commercial purpose. See, ISRO is not into commercial domain, See, they have a navigation satellite I can launch, but using the navigational data, the users like Uber, the users like Zomato, the Uber users like the aero industry, aviation industry, the users like shipping companies, the users like let us say transport companies, they have to do. Okay. So if you ask me, ISRO, what kind of computer science people they require, it is very limited. I have mission computers who does the programming of mission planning, but they're very niche. Maybe I may have 25 engineers, but 2.5 lakhs engineers are required for applications. But that applications commercial thing is not done by ISRO. Okay. So the application front, the more demand is there, you please concentrate on the space applications rather than the space. Is it okay? Am I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, Anybody have questions?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, your lecture is very rational, useful, and fun. I have one question, sir. What is the opportunity of humanities students in ISRO?
Is the opportunity?
Yes, sir.
Come again? Your voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear to me.
Sir, what is opportunity of humanities students in ISRO?
Humility.
जी जी.
Can somebody repeat that word?
Humanities.
Humanity.
जी जी.
Humanity.
Yes, sir.
Humanities is a social. See, the entire space industry is for what? For society. Okay. Where society comes, the humanity plays a big role. When you are doing, when I'm doing a satellite, what for the satellite? Satellite is for developing data. What for the data? It is for the data for assessing the resources. What the resources do? Who uses the resources? These are the people. What is the people science? That is humanities. See whether the expectation of the ultimate user is the public, is a common man. If the common man is getting the support out of the technology is the question. Whatever the technology that we do, spending thousands of crores, ultimately whether it is reaching a common man and converting it to a social application is ultimate. That's all. See, anybody who does the technology is for the common man, you know. Whether it is, let's say, Mahatma Gandhi, that recently that scheme has been changed to other name, Rozgar. In the satellite, what we do when villages, when they do every day for creating an employment, they do and they go and do some activity, whether it is canal digging or protection of the water conservation. It will be logged using the geostationary data. We will log before and after the activity, and we will assess what is the amount of work has been done, and the Rozgar Yojana will release the money. So this kind of technology applications are there using the different applications. If you say humanities, it is one of the humanities is only the region where it is getting derived. Somebody has to take pain in going to the people, doing the survey, assessing whether. So for that one, you should have enormous amount of awareness. What for these technologies are being built, how these technologies are pipelined through ministries, from ministries, central ministries to state, state to Panchayat Raj to public, whether public is able to use them as it was envisaged, where the gaps are. This is a very big social survey. If some of you like interested people, there are some universities. That's what in all universities, wherever I go, I will tell them, you send the students to the nearby villages, let them go around and ask the people, take a survey, whether what the problems they are facing. Usually what problems they will face, either waste disposal is not happening, sanitation is not there, water supply is not there, some leaking is happening, and we don't have our roads properly, we have potholes, all these problems, you know. But all these problems you can monitor through satellite technology. Understood?
Thank you, sir.
Any
Okay.
questions?
If nothing is there, we can wind up, we can conclude.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. A wonderful session. Great the inspiration words.
From my side?
Yes.
Okay, good. See, any student when he is learning, when they are in the schools and colleges, they will get to know the technology. But other side of the coin is how these technologies will be adopted. If you don't find a use case to your technology, there is no use of learning the technology. So as a social responsible person, it is the last question it touched me. See, ultimately, whatever the technology that you do, some user will be there and user should be there. Who is that user? How actually you reach this technology to that ultimate user is the pipeline. Please aware of such kind of things. Then only you can create a revenue model. When you know you have skill and knowledge is the technology. Revenue comes from the person who utilizes the technology. If you bridge these two gaps, or if you connect these two dots, that is how the revenue will be generated. Please aware not only the technology, the users, the human part of the technology, and find out your own, let's say, self-employment to lead your life. Okay, thank you.
One more question, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the students are the youngsters are addicted to phones, Instagram reels, YouTube, unwanted content. Could you please?
See, I can only say the
Uh,
addiction, you are telling addiction. Addiction has to
yes,
be
sir.
done. If I say you don't use it, then they will tell already father and mother are cracking our this one. If this fellow also is talking like this. Okay, I will put the perspective in a different way. You use your mobiles. Mobiles you are using for time pass only, for knowledge updation. You
These
get
are the golden time, actually.
See, advices cannot be like that. You have to channelize your intention. What I
Yes.
suggest you develop a game using your mobile. How the games this is what exactly adoption. If you addict to that, and you will forget your Facebooks and what you call Instagrams. You load your chat GPT or catapult or perplexity or such kind of apps, AI apps. You just say how to create an image, how to let's say do some kind of a game. If you start developing that one, what happens is you are still passing your time and you are working with your own mobile, but using that mobile, you are developing something, you are applying your knowledge to develop something. That's also time pass. Okay. Find a change mechanism, still continuing the same habit. After some time, what happens? You will start developing the gaming, then mobile will not be enough. You will switch over to laptop. Then that is not enough. You will switch over to cloud platform. Somebody is telling no HPCs. Okay. You will get into, then you will become technology savvy and technocrat.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Bye. All